What up, YouTube Live? How's it going, everybody? I'm here reporting from my humble abode. Sorry, it's a messy bed right now. I haven't made it yet since this morning. I apologize. So again, I'm sorry about the background. It's not too decent. My bad. But it's raining outside here in Southern California. Of course, it's polar vortex in other parts of the country. It's been quite the buzzkill of the week when it comes to weather. And so I want to talk to you guys about this pretty interesting topic that hit the web today, um, regarding Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is, of course, is a famous movie star, an Oscar-nominated actor for Schindler's List, and he has starred in some of our favorite movies of the over the years, right? Yours and mine. Um, Kinsey is one of my favorite movies ever. So, and this weekend he has a new movie called Cold Pursuit, and I actually had the opportunity to screen that film last week, and so you can watch my video review of Cold Pursuit right here on Rama Screen channel. Just a little plug there. I know I gotta promote the channel any chance I get. So go watch my video review of Cold Pursuit right here. You can find it there. Um, and it's yet another revenge action thriller starring Liam Neeson. Now, I've told you guys many times before, 1,000 times, again and again, that I am a sucker for revenge thrillers. I love revenge thrillers. It feeds into our deepest, darkest desire to be able to take matters into our own hands, and it's like, oh my God, if the bad guys could just get what's coming to them without having gone through the long and tedious legal justice system that we have. Sometimes they get acquitted. I was like, what the hell? But revenge thriller gives us that fantasy. It was like, they get what they deserve. Eye for an eye. Payback, bitch. So I've been a fan of revenge thrillers since Death Wish movies with Charles Bronson, and I always say to people that Liam Neeson, ever since the movie Taken, which by the way celebrates its 10th anniversary this month, or last month I should say, Liam Neeson has become this generation's Charles Bronson, this old man revenge thriller kind of guy. He's the go-to guy whenever there's a script demanding a character about an old man getting payback about something, anything, right? You hurt my family, I'm gonna kill you. So that's where Liam Neeson is right now in his career. Now, Liam Neeson, I want to give you context before I give you what he says here that's so controversial, that's been trending throughout this morning. Liam Neeson has been known to be very frank in his interviews. I had the opportunity to meet and interview Liam Neeson as part of the press back 2000. The movie The Gray. Do you remember The Gray? It's about these guys that got stranded in the out snow cold, and Liam Neeson was like fighting wolves in the woods. So I got invited to the press junket, and I met him, and he's a pretty cool dude. He's as cool as you see. But the thing is, sometimes he's not filtered. Sometimes he's not filtered when he says stuff to the press. Liam Neeson's publicist, whoever they may be, would sometimes kind of like, oh, kind of like holding on to dear life, because you just never know what Liam Neeson might say. He says something about at the press junket for Nonstop, the thriller Nonstop. He says something about Air Marshal is allowed to racial profile. We all racial profile anyway. That's what Liam Neeson says. Like, I was like, Liam, what are you doing, man? Do you want people to watch your movie, or do you not want people to watch your movie? What's going on here? He's just off the cuff, I'm not defending Liam Neeson. I'm not excusing him, but I'm just giving you context that that's the kind of guy Liam Neeson is in person. I've met him once, and that is what I saw when I met him. He's a cool dude, but he also can be frank frank, very frank, and blunt in his answers. Um, so let's get to the controversy of what he said recently, and he was promoting Cold Pursuit. I was not able to cover the press junket for that one, but the Independent was there. I think this might be the European press junket for it. So anyway, the Independent is this outlet in the UK, and they were discussing the topic of revenge, and because the movie is about revenge, obviously, this I don't know if you've seen the plot, but it's about this guy, this working class man whose son got killed by drug dealers, so he hunts down the drug dealers that killed his son. Very simple plot, right? But there's entertaining stuff element to it. If you are fans of Coen Brothers and Martin McDonough, there's some funny elements to Cold Pursuit that I think you'll find very amusing. So I'm reading off of the Independent here. They did an interview with Liam Neeson and his co-star Tom Bateman, and at one point Tom Bateman was like, "Holy shit," because he's reacting to Liam Neeson next to him, sharing this true story. And what is that true story? Okay, let me read to you here. And I'm quoting off of Independent. So Liam Neeson reveals basically that one of his friends years ago, a woman, Liam did not reveal the name or his relationship with this woman, but he just said that this woman was raped. And so he's talking about how revenge is a primal, something that's primal, like anybody could tap into that desire if you just hit the right button. In this case, if somebody you care about gets hurt. And in this case, this woman that he cares about got hurt, was raped. And let me read to you what he says here. And I quote, this is Neeson's statement. "She handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way. But my immediate reaction was, I asked, did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said it was a black person. I went up and down areas with a kosh." Pause. Kosh is, I had to look it up. Kosh means a bludgeon instrument. Something hard metal to hit somebody with. I thought it was a gun, but it's not. It's a British way of saying, a bludgeoning instrument. I went up and down areas with a kosh, hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could, kill him. It took me a week, maybe a week and a half, to go through that. She would say, "Where are you going?" And I would say, "I'm just going out for a walk, What's wrong?" "No, nothing's wrong. Nothing's wrong." Um, and then it says on the paragraph, Tom Bateman, his co-star, sitting next to Liam Neeson's like, "Holy shit," as Liam Neeson's telling the story. And Neeson continues, and I quote, "It's awful. It was horrible, horrible. When I think back, it's horrible that I did that, and I've never admitted that, and I'm saying it to a journalist, God forbid. It was awful, but I did learn a lesson from it. When I eventually thought, God, what the fuck are you doing, Uh, I come from a society, I grew up in Northern Ireland in the Troubles, and I knew a couple of guys that died on hunger strike, and I had acquaintances who were very caught up in the Troubles, and I understand that need for revenge, and it just leads to more revenge, to more killing, and Northern Ireland is proof of that. All this stuff that's happening in the world, the violence is proof of that, But that primal need, I understand." Okay, so there's a few things to unpack here. Let's break it down. And if you disagree with my take on it, you can share your thoughts in the comment section below or on the chat. But I'm gonna just give it to you guys straight here. I'll try my best not to hide around the bushes. I'm gonna give you my opinion. Let's break it down, okay? And before I break it down, if you want to read his interview in its entirety, the link is in the description box below this video. So go check it out there. All right, so that's awful, right? That's awful. The whole thing. My reaction when I read that, I was like, holy shit! Just like Tom Bateman, the same reaction. It's like, my God, that's bad. When you have a desire to just wait for some random black guy to provoke you, so you have an excuse to beat him up. That's horrible. Okay, I don't have any. There's no defensible argument, in defense of that. There's no argument out there that can defend that. That's awful. Now, this is not a defense of Liam Neeson. I have two little sisters. God forbid, right? I don't even want to use the word. I'm just saying that, God forbid, if they got hurt, I will pay the first plane ticket flight back to Indonesia. And yes, I will get to the bottom of it. Will I exact revenge on my own? Will I pull off a Charles Bronson, or Liam Neeson's Taken? Probably not. But I'll definitely work with the cop and make sure that I pressure them and make sure that they're on top of it, so the leads don't get caught. I'll be really, really on their ass to figuring this out. If my sisters get hurt, that's my primal need. As a big brother, as a protector, as somebody that's supposed to be there to protect his little sisters. So from that perspective, from that point of view angle, I can somewhat understand where he's coming from. For example, if my sister says, "Hey, the guy who hurt me is a nerd," for example, I don't know. I'm human, right? I can't predict what I would do. But I'm thinking I might be really angry. I might get really angry that my focus gets really narrowed to the point where I might blanket blame nerds everywhere, or that if I see a guy with or a 4-eye walking, I know I'm sorry, I'm trashing nerds. I'm also a nerd myself, but I'm just saying I want to give an example without giving race or color. I might have that assumption in the back of my head. Every time I see somebody like that, I might start profiling because of this anger that I have, and sometimes also shame because I wasn't there to protect my sisters. So that bubbles up to the point where I don't think reasonably anymore or sensibly anymore. Do you see where I'm getting at? Again, it's not in defense of Liam Neeson. All right, I'm just trying to see if I were in that position. Maybe that could happen to me too, because you never know, human nature. That said, this is okay. This is a bad comment on his part, and it goes to show you that taking matters into your own hand, or revenge, payback, eye for an eye, it's only fun on the big screen. All right, revenge in life is never, never, never a good idea. But I know many of the people out there who are outraged by Liam Neeson's comment in this interview is outraged not because of the revenge fantasy, but because he narrows it to a black person. Like he would try, like in his fantasies, like, okay, I'm just waiting for that one random black guy to give me an excuse to beat him up and kill him. All right, so I understand that's the outrage. And just before I go further with that, I just want to say that racism is even worse in Asia. I grew up in Asia, and dude, I know racism is bad here in America, but in Asia, it's pretty bad too. It's mostly regarding tribes. What tribes are you from? There's a lot of tribes in Southeast Asia. Even everybody looks, like me, brown over there. So the racism is based on tribe. Like if you're from the neighboring tribe, oh, we're gonna be prejudiced or bigoted towards you. So there's racism everywhere. Now, what Liam Neeson, the outrage is because obviously we have a history here in America with regards to the fact that over the years, over the course of our history, there's a lot of instances where black men or black kid were accused of something. For example, Emmett Till were accused of something that he did not do, and he ends up suffering the consequences, sometimes gets murdered because of it. And so the outrage is valid, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's not valid, um, because of the history that we have here in America. Um, it's horrible. It's horrible. Uh, and I want to say, unfortunately, there are also, I don't want to say all cops are bad, but there are also dirty cops who sometimes would try to find a reason just to beat up on black guys, or to arrest black guys just because they're black. And um, so that comment, and the outrage over that comment, a specific part of that comment by Liam Neeson, is valid in my opinion. I don't want to take away from the validity of it. Um, I also have this in my comment that in my point that the this goes to show when Liam Neeson says in his comment, like when he asked her, the woman, like, do you know who raped you, who hurt you? And she said no. And guess what Liam Neeson says? What color is he? See, the fact that he asks for the color. I know that people would probably some people would argue, well, Rama, that's usually the go-to way for people to distinct or to differentiate other people, by the skin, the color of their skin. And so that not necessarily Liam Neeson's racist. Yeah, I can understand the argument, but the fact that he goes to that first, you know, um, it just goes to the underlying thing that some people have. And I don't want to call Liam Neeson racist, but it's just bad. It's just bad. In my country, again, it's about tribe. They were like, okay, what part of the city, or what is it Javanese? Is it Sumatranese? It's still bad. It still doesn't sound good. You can probably argue, but Rama, how else would you categorize if he wants to find out who the perpetrator is and she doesn't know who he is? Well, he has to narrow it down, I guess, narrow it down by race. Yes, I get it, but it still doesn't mean that it sounds good. um, and to conclude this video, without getting longer than necessary, it goes to show that we all still have to learn from our history, from our family, sometimes from our culture. Like, for example, what I'm trying to say is that some of my family members in Asia might still have racist tendencies towards certain tribes, towards these tribes and stuff like. But now that I've grown, I've educated myself, and I've met people from different backgrounds. I want to make sure that my generation moving forward, would be better than the last. All right, I'm saying would be better than the previous. Racism has been around, and unfortunately will always be around, in a matter of ethnics, in a matter of skin color. But we need to keep chipping away with each generation. And to the Liam Neesons out there in the world, I get it. When you're angry, I get it, man. I get it. When you're angry, you just wanna get back at them, right? But remember, one man's sin is not a representative of the entire people who happen to look like that one person. All right, one man's sin is not a blanket of, oh, he's black, so I guess I'll fight him. He'll do. I know he's not the rapist, but he'll do, whatever makes me feel good about myself. No, no. See, that goes to my earlier point that revenge is fun only on the big screen. Revenge is never a good idea in real life because you may hurt the wrong person. You may hurt an innocent person, and you will if you try to exact revenge. And hence the example with Emmett Till. May he rest in peace. So, in a way, yes, it sucks sometimes with the justice system. And there's this thing when it comes to the case of rape. There's this thing called um, statute of limitations, where after a certain year, it's hard to bring that case to the court because time has passed. There may not be DNA proof anymore, and then it'll be just your word against his word or her word against his word. Evidence have gone cold over years, so it really sucks. It really is frustrating but that is the justice system that we need to have uh, to make sure we're not barbaric and we're not living in an anarchist kind of society. And so back to Liam Neeson, without going on a tangent here. Um, Again, I understand where he's coming from. Maybe if I'm in his position, I would be so angry that I'd be thinking just one thing and without thinking about the consequence of the bigger picture. But number two, the tendencies that he conveyed or revealed, I can't justify that. And the outrage over that, over the racist thing, it's valid. Does this mean that Liam Neeson is a bad guy? Okay, let's leave with that. With this, trying to figure this out. Does this mean that Liam Neeson is a bad guy? Does this mean that Liam Neeson's career is over? No, no. We got to be careful. Okay, we gotta approach things case by case basis. Remember that? I've always mentioned that to you. Case by case basis. So to lump Liam Neeson in with Harvey Weinstein or other bad guy celebrities like Kevin Spacey or whoever, it's not fair. By the end of that interview, he is remorseful, regretful. Liam Neeson never acted on his impulse or thoughts. Um, he is very regretful about even having those thoughts in the first place. He said here, he's like, he tells himself, like, what the fuck are you doing, Liam? After a week, after time, he subsides. He's not angry anymore. Maybe he's still angry, but now he's like, he comes to his senses now. Um, so on Twitter, when people say, oh my God, Liam Neeson's career is over. That's it. That's it. He's racist. It's over, guys. Either they don't read his interview in its entirety, or they are just one of those people who just love crucifying any public figure, no matter what the reason is. Especially on the right. The right always tries to find a reason to crucify left celebrity because they hate Hollywood elites. I was like, oh my God, we got James Gunn fired. Woo! I was like, fuck you. uh, but back to Liam, I think the fact that he regretted it in the end, that should count for something. Okay, credit where credit's due. Um, I'm not gonna put a gun against anybody's head and like force you to like, hey, go watch Cold Pursuit. If you choose to boycott Cold Pursuit because of what Liam Neeson says in this interview, that's your choice. That's your freedom to do so. It's a free country. All right. I, for one, enjoyed the film, and I would recommend it to anybody who are fellow fans of revenge thrillers. The fans of that fantasy on the screen. But if you feel like no, that's it. I draw the line here. No more Liam Neeson for me, from forever. Hey, that's your choice, man. I'm just saying that at the end of this interview, he is very regretful. He never acted on his bad racist thoughts, again, that are not justifiable. And the outrage about that is valid. But I would not lump him with the other celebrities that should or deserve to be thrown in the doghouse or the career jail. That's my opinion, at least. Um, I know. One last note, funny note. Liam Neeson said in an interview that Cold Pursuit was gonna be his final revenge action thriller. But then I saw on IMDb he's got a couple of more action revenge thriller coming up too. So I guess never say never, right? And if it does make money, if it brings in the paycheck, why the hell not? I think Liam Neeson is fantastic in Cold Pursuit. I hope you'd give the movie a chance, and I think you'll enjoy it as much as I did. Okay, so that's it. That's my breakdown of this whole controversy regarding Liam Neeson's racist revenge plot that he had in his head. What do you think? If you disagree with me, let me know why and how. In what way do you disagree with me? And is this a deal breaker for you? Are you gonna stop admiring or watching Liam Neeson's fans because of this? If so, let me know why. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, subscribe to my channel. Press that like button, ring that bell. And if you can help support Ramascreen channel, please do so at patreon.com/Ramascreen. That's patreon.com/Ramascreen.